Got her, young gang. Hi, honey. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, it's not morning, but we're still yawning.
Well, it's been kind of, I don't know, like rainy days kind of do that to me. We can be tired and stuff. And it's been kind of a rainy weekend.
Also, recliners and almost always put me to sleep.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to learn some new stuff from the Bible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
Let's learn from the Bible.
I hear doubt in your voice. Okay, so if you guys don't remember, last time God used his almighty pimp powers to backhand his two prostitutes back in line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it work?
No.
Oh, well. He's not a very good pimp then, is he?
No, he isn't. He needs to freshen up that pimp hand a little bit more, I guess. This time, though, Eazy-E is going to let everybody in Jerusalem know about the siege that's coming.
Isn't there always a siege coming?
Yeah. So, of course, Eazy-E has to do this through a parable.
Sure.
That's when Eazy-E instantaneously transforms into Gordon Ramsay and teaches people how to cook bones in a pot. Yep. And then that's the whole parable. Just, this is how you cook shit in a pot. And it's like Gordon Ramsay. So it's like, you're fucking useless. This is how you do it in a pot.
Idiot sandwich.
And then he basically starts talking about God, except now God is Gordon Ramsay and the pot is Israel. And the people are the meat that he's going to be boiling alive.
Sounds twisted.
Yeah, probably in their own blood, but who knows?
Blood God.
Hashtag blood God things.
Mm-hmm.
They were the reason why all this is going to happen, right? They were just way too lewd, running around, flipping their skirts up, doing all that kind of shit. So that's why they've got to be boiled in a pot. I don't know why, but that's just how it has to be. God then turns into some kind of crazy therapist because he's going to teach the Israelites how to deal with the loss.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But he does this in a very weird way because he rolls up and he just executes Ezekiel's wife.
What?
Yeah, he just rolls up in his like
his prophet.
Mercedes. Yeah, just rolls up in his Mercedes, gets out, pulls the bolt back on his. He'll guess he's probably got like a gold AK or something like that, and just fucked her up with bullets.
Interesting.
Yep. Now, Eazy-E is supposed to act like just nothing happened. Can you imagine that? You're just sitting there with your wife in your front yard. God pulls up in a Mercedes and is like, kills your wife, and you're just supposed to sit there sipping your tea and acting like nothing happened. Betty's gone.
It seems a little messed up.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And this is all a sign of how fucked Jerusalem is, because apparently God's going to do the exact same thing to them, except on a much grander scale. So I guess that means that God is going to drive his Mercedes through town, and he's just going to wildly sling his gold AK-47 outside of his car and just...
It seems like irresponsible gun ownership.
It really does, but God's kind of like that, what are their names? The two white people that stood out on the front lawn.
Oh, God.
Malibu Ken, I don't know,
or something. Like Whitey and Clyde.
Whitey and Clyde. I like that.
I don't remember. Two rich white people who thought that their house was under attack by the black people who were just strolling by.
Honey, we got some black people walking around outside. Maybe we should protect our property. Get the gun.
They were there. I mean, they were there to protest at the governor's house, as far as I understand. Or mayor, was it mayor or governor?
I don't know.
I can't remember. It was a city official.
Right.
They were not there to bother the McCloskeys.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think
Was it McCloskey?
Maybe, yeah.
No.
But I like how they've turned it into they were gonna break down my door, rape my wife.
I know, it was nuts. It was nuts.
All right. Well, I'm guessing I got some things wrong, so I guess we'll have to cover this here in a second.
I mean, yeah.
What's up, heathens?
How y'all doing?
How you doing, hon?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, other than the elephant that's tramping around upstairs.
Yeah.
We're not in our house yet, so of course we still have upstairs apartment neighbors.
Yeah.
They own an elephant.
They do. They really do.
Yeah, so apparently I got things wrong, so I'm here to learn along with the rest of the heathens.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't think I was too off, though. Gordon Ramsay definitely
made an appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hand in writing this particular part of the Bible, I think.
Did he?
Yep.
All right, well, it's going to be kind of short today. We're just going over Ezekiel 24.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. So are you ready to go ahead and start?
Of course.
Now, it's going to start off something that doesn't really make sense, but I'm going to just preface it with we're talking about during Zedekiah's reign. That's where we're at.
Zed.
Mm-hmm.
Him and fucking Rita.
Mm-hmm. And in this section, supposedly Ezekiel is told about the siege of Jerusalem in Tel Aviv. So that's where we are. We're in Tel Aviv.
Okay.
Okay. In the 9th year, in the 10th month, on the 10th day,
October 10th.
9th year, 10th month, 10th day. And this is during Zedekiah's reign. Okay. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, record this date, this very date, because the king of Babylon has laid siege to Jerusalem this very day.
What? Why does it have to be this very day?
Because that's the date God told him to record. So we're recording that day. All right.
Oh, okay.
Tell this rebellious people a parable and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. So I've not really found parables to be very useful.
No, in layman's terms, he said, tell these bitches what I'm about to say.
Yes. Put on the cooking pot. So he's saying bitches in the kitchen. We don't need you to tell us how to cook, but thanks. Put it on and pour water into it. Put into it the pieces of meat, all the choice pieces, the leg and the shoulder. Fill it with the best of these bones. Take the pick of the flock. Here's what's better. Don't put water in it. Put all the meat in there, just like he's saying, bones and all, and pour red wine on it and boil it in red wine. Delicious.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what my grandma used to do.
So I wonder why he's boiling it in water. Here's how you make shitty meat. We don't want you making the good meat.
Yeah, see, Gordon would put it in wine. So this surely isn't Gordon.
I don't know. If he's making stock, I mean, he's missing a lot of materials, but if he was making stock, this might make sense.
You'd use water, yeah, if you're making stock. But I mean...
He's missing a lot of vegetables and everything like that.
Well, vegetables, maybe depends on what kind of stock you're making, right? But you're missing spices and salt. You're definitely missing salt.
So is he just ruining a whole bunch of food right now? Is that what it seems?
I don't know. He talks about spices later. We'll get there. But right now, the basics, like you're talking about the very beginning part, he misses the mark here.
Pour in some frankincense and myrrh. Those two things are going to be very important later, I'm telling you.
And they stink. Okay. So pile wood beneath it for the bones. Bring it to a boil and cook the bones in it. For this is what the sovereign Lord says. Woe to the city of bloodshed, to the pot now encrusted, whose deposit will not go away. So the pot in this case is Jerusalem.
It's a crusty pot, too.
It's a crusty pot. The deposits are the sins of Jerusalem.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Take the meat out piece by piece in whatever order it comes. The meat or the people. For the blood she shed, it is in her midst. She poured it on the bare rock. She did not pour it on the ground where the dust would cover it. To stir up wrath and take revenge, I put her blood on the bare rock so that it would not be covered.
Okay.
It seemed important for reasons that we don't understand.
He splashed blood on rocks instead of the dusty ass ground.
Yeah. Because he wanted to make sure people saw it and it didn't get soaked in.
You know, I would just be so confused by this. Lord, why are you making such a mess with blood and shit? Who's going to clean this up?
Nobody. That's the point, to threaten people. He wants it to be fucking scary.
Can you just imagine a crazy motherfucker like Eazy-E just walking out into the middle of Jerusalem, throwing some like lamb's blood or something like that on a rock and be like, take heed, and
don't
then walks
fuck
away.
With me. Yeah. Somebody who runs around splashing blood on shit, I don't want to fuck with that guy. Do you? I just want to turn around and be like, okay, I'm not messing. Don't look. Just don't look at that person. Walk away. Woe to the city of bloodshed. I too will pile the wood high. So heap on the wood and kindle the fire. Cook the meat well, mixing in the spices. And let the bones be charred. Then set the empty pot on the coals till it becomes hot and its copper glows, so that its impurities may be melted and its deposits burned away. It has frustrated all efforts. Its heavy deposit has not been removed, not even by the fire. So in this case, God's saying the pot, Jerusalem, put it in the fire to burn away the sin, you know, all right, the deposits. But because Jerusalem is so bad, apparently this has not worked.
Not even the fires of hell will get them straight.
Right. And he says, now your impurity is lewdness. Because I tried to cleanse you, but you would not be cleansed from your impurity. You will not be clean again until my wrath against you has subsided. Which...
So should this read, they just wouldn't quit pulling their skirts up, so now we're going to have to take things further.
Pretty much. But like figurative skirts for other gods.
Right.
Yeah. I, the Lord, have spoken. The time has come for me to act. I will not hold back. I will not have pity, nor will I relent. You will be judged according to your conduct and your actions, declares the sovereign Lord. This is interesting. He's been saying this for a long time, and it still hasn't happened. Perhaps that's why the people don't take his prophet seriously.
Right.
Because they say all this bad shit's going to happen, and it does not.
No, I mean, God should really come through with all of his shitty-ass promises if he wants people to take him seriously.
Yeah, that's like telling a kid, I'm going to take your shit away if you don't behave, and then they don't behave, and then you don't take their shit away, or you do take their shit away, and then you give it right back because they won't stop bitching. Mm-hmm. And that's just bad parenting.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you got to take the shit away, and you got to mean it.
You got to mean it. If you say it, this is what my mom always told me. She's like, if you say something, mean it. Because if you threaten and then you don't follow through, kids learn fast. Yeah, they're shady as fuck.
Yeah, sometimes I know I've said, Xander, I will rip that Xbox out of your room. And he seems to shape up pretty quick when he gets a visual of me ripping an Xbox out of his room.
He does not want to lose the Xbox, that's for sure. Okay, so that's the end of the parable with the cooking pot. But,
oh, no.
But God's got another... He wants to prepare Jerusalem for what's about to happen to them. And he's going to give them an example. Okay?
Okay, follow God for more cooking tips.
The word of the Lord came to me, is Ezekiel. Son of man, with one blow I am about to take away from you the delight of your eyes. Yet do not lament or weep or shed any tears. Groan quietly. Do not mourn for the dead. Keep your turban fastened and your sandals on your feet. Do not cover your mustache and beard or eat the customary food of mourners.
Like, the customary food of mourners, wouldn't he have been the one to dictate that? Or is that just God? Or is this not something that's been covered? Normally, like with all the ceremonies and everything like that, he's like dictated all of that before.
Well, yeah, but he's telling him not to mourn. You're not to do the things that one normally does during mourning. Okay, so he's preparing Ezekiel. He's telling him, I am going to take someone from you that matters to you.
I'm going to execute your wife and you will enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. Basically, don't react.
Right.
And continue on with your life. So Ezekiel says, so I spoke to the people in the morning, and in the evening my wife died. The next morning I did as I had been commanded. Then the people asked me, won't you tell us what these things have to do with us? Why are you acting like this? I said to them, the word of the Lord came to me. Say to the people of Israel, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am about to desecrate my sanctuary, the stronghold in which you take pride, the delight of your eyes, the object of your affection. The sons and daughters you left behind will fall by the sword, and you will do as I have done. You will not cover your mustache and beard or eat the customary food of mourners. You will keep your turbans on your heads and your sandals on your feet. You will not mourn or weep, but will waste away because of your sins and groan among yourselves. Ezekiel will be a sign to you. You will do just as he has done. When this happens, you will know that I am the sovereign Lord.
Like, I feel like he's given enough ways to know that he is the sovereign Lord. Like, every single time God says that he's going to do something, he's like, and then you will know I am your sovereign Lord.
I mean, it seems really important to him. I mean, he's very narcissistic, right? And he's got a world's large ego. And so, like, he has to constantly be proving to people he is God. Right. He is God. He's the important one. Worship him.
Me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so now he's given this as a sign, Ezekiel's wife, right? That this is going to happen to the people. He's going to take away their sanctuary, the delight of their life.
Right. Oh yeah. Don't, like, when they're mourning, don't they like strip naked and like walk in the streets? Like,
they they wear sackcloth. They like tear their robe and wear sackcloth. Mm-hmm. And they sometimes maybe cut their beards or hair or something. I can't remember exactly the whole process, but yeah.
Obviously
they don't run around naked.
But obviously the flip-flops and turban have to come off in that particular situation.
But not in this one.
Right, not in this one, but typically.
And you, son of man, on the day I take away their stronghold, their joy and their glory, the delight of their eyes, their heart's desire, and their sons and daughters as well. On that day, a fugitive will come to tell you the news. At that time, your mouth will be opened. You will speak with him and will no longer be silent. So you will be a sign to them, and they will know that I am Lord. So I know it's weird, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, they will know I am Lord.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is very common to say. He always kind of says, my son, and he says my son, and then he says a lot. I'm the sovereign Lord. I am Lord. I'm sovereign Lord. It's repeated consistently throughout Ezekiel.
Well, I mean, it's almost like these people are too dumb to take a hint. It's because it's like at one thing after another. It's like, and you will know I am your sovereign Lord. Every single thing. But these people are like, wait, what? Hold on.
But then the thing is that stuff doesn't tend to happen. So, he's been threatening that he's going to destroy the entire place and kill everybody repeatedly. Mm-hmm. But that's not exactly happening, which is why people don't believe it. So, yes, Ezekiel's supposed to be an example to all of these people on how to deal with mourning the losses that they're about to face.
how to deal with God rolling up and just murdering your loved ones.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, God did. According to this story, he took Ezekiel's wife from her to give them an example. Even though he was a faithful servant to God, a prophet of his, he took from him. And, it's interesting because there's the little call out boxes, in the daily Bible. And the one at the end of this section talks about how Ezekiel's being asked to sacrifice no more than what God will eventually sacrifice, his son, right?
Oh, okay.
That he'll give, in order to bring a sign to all the world, that he'll give up his son. And Ezekiel had to give up his wife as a sign to the people of Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure really why that was necessary.
Yeah, why couldn't God just say it with words? Why did he have to, fucking cap her?
I mean, because
reasons.
Yeah. Reasons that make no sense.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Christians take away from this section is a testimony of Ezekiel's faith. That even though the most precious thing to him was taken from him, he still followed in God's way and did exactly what God said.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we all should be. And so they use God killing Ezekiel's wife as a testimony to how to be faithful. Twisted. It's twisted.
This is very fucked up.
That's actually, I know it's kind of short, but that's all that we have for this today. It was just one chapter.
God being gangster, rolling up in his caddy, taking the bitch out.
Yeah. So next time we're going to be stepping in during the siege of Jerusalem when that's going on, but we're actually going into Jeremiah and his prophecies during the siege.
Oh, okay. So we're jumping back into
Jeremiah. Yeah, we're going to go from Ezekiel to Jeremiah. Because we're doing this chronologically.
Right.
So this is during the siege. We're going back to Jeremiah and his prophecies during that time.
I can only imagine Jerry's walking through Jerusalem during the siege and he's like, I told y'all this shit was gonna happen.
Well, and Zedekiah in next week's reading, Zedekiah inquires of Jeremiah of the fate of Jerusalem.
Have y'all not been listening to me this entire time? I stand out there 8 hours a day on my soapbox telling y'all this shit's gonna happen. You're telling me you didn't once soak this shit up like a goddamn sponge? The fuck?
Well, and we know because of reading Jeremiah before that there's going to be famine, plague, and sword, right? There are different ways that they die. So there's going to be famine, plague, and sword. We're going to talk about surrender, righteousness, judgment. There's going to be judgment against evil kings. Okay, so we're going to have some of that. Zedekiah is going to be taken captive.
Oh, no.
Jeremiah is going to be confined.
To his house? Like he's on house arrest?
Well, we're going to talk about it next time.
Okay. Maybe he's got one of them, like a pre-modern ankle bracelet that lets him know that he's left the premises.
Maybe. There's going to be, we can't go through 1 week without having the charges against Jerusalem
being read out.
Yeah. So we're going to read out that. And then again, a promise of restoration, right? Businesses will revive. They're going to get another warning and another promise. So they're going to get a warning and a promise and then a warning and a promise.
Shit. That's a lot of warning and promises.
Yeah. So.
Will he promise to shut the fuck up?
No, definitely not. That's not going to happen.
Okay. All right. Well, if you guys want to learn what the warnings and promises is and how Jerry reacts to being asked the thing that he's been shouting this entire time, I guess you'll need to tune in next week. If you will, please go down below. Let us know what you thought about God capping Ezekiel's wife as some kind of
punishment.
Punishment.
Well, not
prophecy.
Really a punishment.
It's like
a sign.
Demonstration.
Yeah, a demonstration, a sign.
Yeah. Tell us what you think about that shit. That's kind of crazy. Also, my favorite part was the golden AK-47 God used to do it. And I guess we will see you heathens next week.
Don't forget to stand up and use your voice.
Bye, heathens.
Bye, y'all.